I reduced my workflow from 30 minutes to just 3 minutes by restructuring how I write prompts instead of upgrading my AI model or paying for premium features. Most people waste hours fixing mediocre AI outputs because they treat artificial intelligence like a search engine rather than treating it like an experienced employee who needs clear direction. The secret to better AI output is not upgrading the model, but adopting a completely different mindset about how you communicate requests to artificial intelligence systems. The SCOPE framework contains 5 essential elements: specificity, context, objective, persona, and examples that transform vague requests into precise instructions the AI can execute perfectly. Specificity means defining the exact deliverable with format, length, and audience, rather than asking the AI to guess what you want from a vague general category. A bad prompt says write a proposal, but a specific prompt says write a 2-page partnership proposal for a distribution deal targeting executive buyers with decision-making authority. When you provide vague input, the AI defaults to the most common, average pattern it finds in its training data, which almost always results in generic, unhelpful output. Context is the background information that shapes the output by telling the AI who you are communicating with, what happened previously, and what constraints exist in the situation. A bad prompt says write an email about the project delay, but a good prompt explains this is the second delay. The tone needs to be apologetic yet confident in the new timeline. The more context you provide to the AI, the less it has to invent, which means the less likely it is to produce irrelevant, hallucinated, or completely incorrect information. Objective is fundamentally different from specificity because it tells the AI what the output needs to accomplish, not just what format you want it to follow. A weak prompt says write a social media post about our new feature, but a strong prompt states the objective is to drive demo requests from frustrated marketing directors. When the AI understands the objective, it tailors the language, tone, and structure to achieve that specific goal instead of producing bland announcements that fail to convert. Always make your objective explicit by asking whether you are trying to persuade, inform, educate, or convert your audience with the output you are requesting. Persona is not a gimmick, but rather a filter that forces the AI to access specific vocabulary, expertise, and analytical frameworks associated with that professional role. If you ask the AI to critique a pitch deck without specifying a persona, you receive generic advice about slide layout. But assigning a venture capitalist persona completely changes the analysis depth. A supportive mentor persona will offer encouragement, while a skeptical investor persona delivers hard truth, which is why persona choice directly influences the quality and usefulness of feedback. Use persona whenever you need to extract specialized knowledge, insider perspectives, or critical feedback that matches your actual business goals rather than generic observations. Examples are the strongest lever you have, because they show the AI exactly what success looks like by demonstrating the specific style, tone, and structure you need. A vague request to write product copy forces the AI to guess the style, but showing 3 examples of your best performing ads and asking to match that exact tone eliminates all guessing. Examples force the AI to analyze patterns in your data, including vocabulary choices, sentence rhythm, and specific structure. Then replicate those patterns in the new output automatically. You can use examples in reverse to show the AI what not to do by providing poor samples and explicitly instructing it to avoid replicating those specific mistakes or style choices. Examples turn abstract requests into concrete targets that the AI can analyze, learn from, and replicate, which is the only reliable way to make output sound like your actual brand voice. When you combine all 5 scope elements together, you give the AI a complete blueprint that eliminates guesswork and produces usable output immediately without requiring revision. A lazy prompt requesting an email to a potential client produces generic output, but using scope elements delivers a precise strategic email addressing cost concerns and pitching the demo effectively. You don't always need every single scope element for every task, but whenever output feels generic or off-target, Run your prompt through the complete scope checklist to identify missing elements. Prompt chaining means using the output of one prompt as the input for the next prompt, building complexity layer by layer instead of cramming everything into one massive request. If you dump an entire request for a go-to-market strategy into one prompt, you receive surface-level generic advice. But chaining prompts breaks it into logical analytical steps. The first prompt in a chain analyzes the competitive landscape for project management tools, identifying top competitors and their positioning strategies in the target market. The second prompt takes the competitive analysis output and identifies 3 specific market gaps that competitors are missing, which your product can exploit to gain advantage. The third prompt uses the identified market gaps to create a 3-month launch plan that specifically positions your product against the weaknesses you discovered in competitor offerings. Each step in prompt chaining compounds, because the AI builds on validated information from the previous step rather than starting from scratch with unreliable general knowledge. You are not asking the AI to accomplish everything in one request, but rather guiding it through a logical sequence where each output becomes more precise and strategic. Treat prompt chaining like you are conducting a working session where you would never ask your team to deliver a complete strategy in one meeting, but rather break it into phases. You can apply the full scope framework to each individual prompt in the chain, which means every step is precisely specified, properly contextualized, and strategically targeted. The first major mistake that breaks prompts is making broad, vague requests that don't give the AI enough specific information to work with beyond generic assumptions. Without specific data and clear direction, the AI relies on guesswork and usually guesses wrong by selecting the most average, common, forgettable pattern from its training data. The specific mistake that ruins most prompts is something I call text vomit, which is dumping 300 words of jumbled instructions into one massive paragraph. When you mix context, persona, and examples into one messy run-on sentence, even the AI struggles to parse the dense block of text accurately and completely. The AI might execute the first instruction perfectly, but completely miss the third instruction buried in the middle of the sentence because the structure is too dense. You need to structure your prompt visually by using line breaks and bullet points to clearly separate context from objective, making the prompt scannable in under 5 seconds. If you cannot scan your entire prompt in 5 seconds, the formatting is probably too dense, and the AI will miss important instructions buried within the visual clutter. Remember that prompting is an iterative process where imperfect output means returning to the framework, finding the missing scope element, and running the prompt again with improvements. Specificity is non-negotiable and forms the foundation of every single prompt, because without it, the AI has nothing concrete to anchor its response and will default to generic patterns. Context is required whenever the AI is blind to the history or relationship with the client, decision maker, or situation that shapes what the appropriate response should be. Objective is essential for when the output text needs to accomplish something specific, like selling, convincing, apologizing, or moving the reader toward a particular action. Persona is necessary when you need a specific expert brain to filter information through specialized knowledge, insider perspective, or critical feedback that matches your actual business needs. Examples are essential when you need the output to match a specific brand voice or existing style that you have already proven works for your audience and drives results. If you are in a time crunch, focus on specificity and context alone, because these two elements solve approximately 80% of the problems in most bad AI outputs consistently. You now have the exact blueprint to transform vague ideas into precise instructions that the AI can execute reliably, eliminating the frustration of fighting with your AI system. Stop wasting time editing bad drafts and start getting usable output the first time by directing the AI with structured prompts rather than making vague requests and hoping for the best. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay informed of the latest videos.